What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. We are back with a unboxing slash collection video, so hope you guys do enjoy it. Let's do it. Alright guys, so one of my favorite gaming systems of all times is definitely the Xbox 360, and I've been trying to grow my collection here and there when I can afford things. And of course, I've shown you guys my PS2 collection, my PS5 game collection so far, and PS4 games. I don't have a lot of PS4 games, usually digitally I do, and also my Nintendo games, of course, in behind over here. I don't have that much space, of course, in the game room, but I am working with what I have, so I figured I would take time today to show you guys my growing Xbox 360 game collection. I just actually got my new games in the mail that I ordered. Before I start this video here and show you guys, I just want to say we had a snowstorm, we had an ice storm over the weekend, so I didn't have any power for almost a day. I got it back on Sunday night, so we are back, and my work is currently down right now with no power, so it is what it is. So I hope you guys do enjoy this one, so we're gonna get right into it. All right, so we are gonna go through every game I have here so far in my growing collection, and yeah, we're gonna get right to it, guys. So we're gonna start off with, they're just in a different order. I just grabbed them off my shelf. So we got Call of Duty MW2. So of course, I believe I had this in another pickup video, but this is part of my Xbox 360 collection, and this is hands down one of my favorite Call of Duties I've ever played in my life. Playing the online is a lot of fun, and the campaign was great as well. I remember back in college, I had bought a used copy of this one, and it was in French. Unfortunately, I still played it though, and I still remembered all the controls and stuff, even though everything was listed in French, so that's okay. Definitely the online still works for this one on 360, so I might actually go ahead and play some one day soon. But the campaign I was playing the other day, and it still brings back a lot of memories. Next game we got here, we got Splinter Cell Conviction. Again, this is one of my favorite games I've had in the Splinter Cell series. I have this in my old collection as well, so I picked this up. There's a local game store, a couple of them in my town, but I also found a website of a game store just a few hours from my town in a different town, and I got them delivered, so not too shabby. So it's always nice to find different areas where you can find games from, especially like yard sales as well, but we don't really have those around here where I am. So we got Halo 4. Now, of course, I used to play Halo a lot. I believe Halo Reach and 3 were my kind of go-to ones. I'm not crazy on Halo as much, but I just figured I would have this in my collection if I wanted to go to it. So, of course, I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and Reach and all that, or ODST, but that's okay. So at least I have a Halo game if I do want to play some Halo. One great game, great series is Gears of War. I only have the first one here in my pile. I actually was playing the campaign. I still remember how to play this game, and the online servers still work for this one. So if you guys are a fan of Gears of War, hope you have it in your collection. I mean, it's definitely, I love the cover art though, especially for this one, and there's like the backside as well, so I'm not gonna read everything, but yeah, definitely it's by Epic Games. So of course, Gears of War, a well-known game to all the gamers out there. And while I'm recording this video, I'm sorry if you guys hear any background noises. They're starting to work on some more construction down the far end of our street, and yeah, I'm trying not to make sure you guys hear it in this video. GTA 4, one of my favorite GTAs of all time, aside from 3. And of course GTA 5. When's the 6th one coming out? Hopefully soon. But GTA 4 is definitely one of my other favorite GTAs in the franchises. So this is just the regular edition, I believe. Well, it's also got the Liberty Stories in here as well, so I got the extra package to go with that one. One of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did, and it's one of the only ones I actually completed, I think, aside from Unity, and that is 3. So you play as Connor, so I definitely like this one. I was playing it. I do have this on my PS4 with my PS5 system, even though I am playing it currently on, well, I do have it here on the 360, so it doesn't really matter which system I play it for, but I wanted to have it here because I did originally have it in my old collection, so that is nice to have that there. That's the only Assassin's Creed game I have in my 360 collection currently. So I do have Call of Duty Ghosts, another Call of Duty. One of my favorite ones. I got my, at the time, so when me and my wife started dating, I got her to play this with me, and she enjoyed the campaign. So this is actually, I feel this is the one Call of Duty that people slept on. Online was actually really fun. There was a lot of different missions you could do with the online. And then basically, yeah, the storyline, the campaign was really good as well. I enjoyed the campaign of this one. And then I was on a binge, of watching Game of Thrones a couple months ago, and I figured, you know what, I know that they have a game coming out, but the new one that they're making is a mobile game, but I knew that Xbox 360 did have a Game of Thrones game. I have played a little bit of this. Might actually have to give it another go. It's kind of like, it feels like Skyrim kind of, but it's Game of Thrones. So yeah, it's interesting. So that's in my collection. One of my favorite Xbox games, and I actually had this in my old collection a long time ago, and that is Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Now there's a second one as well. I love the Star Wars games. Pod Racer. Of course, right now on the channel, I'm continuing my playthrough of Jedi Survivor. I did Fallen Order again, and also there's just so many great Star Wars games out there. So definitely Star Wars Force Unleashed is great to have in your 360 collection. So if you do happen to have that, let me know. Definitely a fan favorite. I know there's a lot of gamers I watch out there who have their collection videos, and I always try to get some ideas of what I can add into my collection. So that game is one of the games I usually see in other people's collection. And then I do have another Call of Duty, and that is Modern Warfare 3. This again was another fan favorite to play, especially online. I remember usually playing this in college with my friends, so we used to play online a lot. So the second pile before my new pickups are basically all my wrestling games that I have. I still have all my old wrestling games from my previous collection. I had a bunch of other 360 games over the course of time, but I actually gave them away a long time ago, and then over like the last year and a bit, I've been recollecting 360 games just to get back to what I had before. So one of the wrestling games I got is WWE 12. Of course, this storyline for this one was good. You had different Road to WrestleManias, and the gameplay itself, the rosters were a lot different, of course. I enjoyed this one. Of course, there's so many wrestling games I enjoyed. This one was a lot of fun. So, of course, you got Randy Orton on the cover. Now, I do have 2 copies of WWE 2K14 because one of them used to work and one of them doesn't work. I can't remember, so I just have them. I don't know if I'll eventually just get a new one and get rid of these 2, but sometimes they do work, so I just keep them on hand. Of course, you can see that the main cover originally, I think, the main cover was The Rock. And then they also made an alternate cover of Daniel Bryan, which is just on the inside of the cases here, but I just kept it like this so I can tell which is the working one. I can't remember now, but I think the one with The Rock is the working copy. So I do have SmackDown vs. Raw 08. So this one was fun. This was with GM mode. They introduced the revamped ECW in this one. I love the cover of this one because you got John Cena here, Bobby Lashley, Undertaker. I love the back art of this as well. The graphics of this one was decent. The gameplay controls were kind of getting into that modern controls now that you see with the games nowadays. I do have it on my PS2, I believe, but I do have SmackDown vs. Raw 07. Of course, 06 never was on the Xbox 360. I really wish that would have been a thing because SmackDown vs. Raw 06 was my favorite wrestling game, aside from Here Comes the Pain, and I have 2 copies of that on my PS2, and they don't even work. Bummer. So, of course, this was when they started revamping the graphics for this one, and you could go out in the crowd and do all that crazy stuff. The rosters was great in this one. Definitely, I still enjoyed this one. GM mode was good in this one, but like I said, I think 06 had the better GM mode. They had the better game for that one, even though the controls were different. TNA Impact, this is the only game that TNA ever came out with, I think, but it would be cool to see another TNA game. I know with 2K25 out there for wrestling, they will be having updated, well, with the DLC packs coming throughout the year, we're going to see a lot of wrestlers who used to be in TNA, so it would be pretty cool, like, the fact that they should have, like, a new TNA game, I think. Like, this one, the controls were, I didn't like the controls that much, but the gameplay of this one was a lot of fun. You had, like, the Ultimate X match, you had the storyline, basically, you start off, like, as Suicide, and then or I think it was Suicide or something, and then you go, like, from the bottom to the top, basically work your way through everything, so definitely a fun game. I might play this actually eventually. And then WWE 13, CM Punk being on the cover. This was probably another fun one. This was more around like the Attitude Era, especially with the showcase mode. You had like Stone Cold and all that, all the different Attitude Era matches. So this was fun. Graphics again were like WWE 12 in a way, but the gameplay of this was getting better. And then SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. I like this cover, I think, because with me being Canadian, the Canadian ones had a different cover from America. So we got Edge, Bret Hart, and The Undertaker on there. And then you got the back graphics. This game was fun. The controls were a lot, and they started working more on like the different camera angles in the game compared to all the other ones. And then SmackDown vs. Raw 09. So again, different storylines. They had ECW in here again after being revamped. Graphics, I would say, were decent in this one. I think 2K15 had really good graphics as well. But of course, modern day wrestling games like 2K25, of course, me doing universe mode here on the channel, I do enjoy it. But having all my old Xbox 360 wrestling games is just fun to have there. So if I don't want to play the current game, I can just go back and play one of these. So this is kind of part 2 to the video. So this is my new pickups, part of the 360 collection. So I'm going to just show you guys, and that will be it for the video today. So we got Prince of Persia. So this is just the original Prince of Persia, I guess, on 360. I never had this one in my collection, but the price of this game was only like $3. So I picked this one up, of course. So that should be fun, by Ubisoft, of course. Now, they did the new Prince of Persia, the side-scroller. I tried to play that here on the channel before, but I'm just not too crazy on side-scrollers. I like the more open visuals of, like, with the camera on the person, like third person. But side-scrolling games are just not really my cup of tea. Now, I guess when I bought these two games, they didn't come with the covers. They only have, like, the printout copies, but that's okay. So I got Midnight Club Los Angeles and Army of Two. Never played Army of Two, but I did play Midnight Club LA before, and I believe I had that in my old collection. So maybe one day I'll find and see if I can get artwork for it or something. So that'd be nice just to have. I mean, it looks kind of funny with the printed artwork, but it was the only cheapest version I could get. So one game here I believe I had in my old collection is Rainbow Six Vegas. So another Rainbow Six game. I do have Advanced Warfighter on my PS2 by Tom Clancy. So Tom Clancy games are actually something I used to go to and play with my brother, aside from like Call of Duty. So I wasn't the best, but definitely I enjoyed it, especially like Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell Conviction was my go-to one. And of course, the next game I got here is Jack Black Brutal Legend. I've never played this, but I heard good things about it. So I just figured I would pick this up and add it to my collection because it was cheap. And then my last two games, I got Battlefield Bad Company. Now, I believe I played this with my brother growing up, so this was actually pretty fun. A lot of humor in this one. And you can just, like, basically blow stuff up. I'm like, who doesn't like that in a game, right? And then the last one, I believe I had seen this in someone else's collection video, so I picked it up as well. It is Frontline's Fuel of War. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever played it. I can't remember. I feel like I have. I'm not sure, but it looks pretty cool. It's like a kind of basically looks like it's some sort of like Call of Duty type of game. So I think I would definitely like it if once I get my hands onto it. So this is my Xbox 360 collection video, guys. Of course, like I said, when it comes to my collection videos, I do want to kind of just add to when I can. I'm not doing it for like a full-time job. Like, I'm not those guys on YouTube who are constantly just collecting, doing retail with it. I'm just doing it for a hobby, just to have, like, especially with games that I like having. So it's not a guarantee I'm always buying stuff, but I just wanted to showcase you guys another collection video here on the channel, and I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know if you have any recommendations for 360 games. What do you have in your collection if you have a 360? Like I said, Xbox 360 was one of my favorite systems playing throughout my high school years, especially after PS2. I kind of was between PS2 and Xbox 360 in my time, so I definitely am going to eventually keep adding to it when I can and have more space. So I'm going to probably rearrange some stuff in my game room here as well to just make sure everything fits perfectly and in a nice space. But I'm going to stop talking here for this video. I hope you guys do drop a like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to keep growing this channel. And April, I got some plans for the channel personally and for the channel. So I hope you guys have a great week ahead. And until the next video, as always, my name is Dan. And remember to keep gaming on. Peace out.